Hey, how you guys doing? Carson here, Carson Genti. This is my channel. We talk about strategy, everything business. And today I want us to delve into something different. We always go into something different every day. So I love to hear the thoughts in the comments on this topic because it might be quite something. Let's talk about teammates, teams, people, partners, but specifically, who do you allow to be in your team? If you're starting a new business, you have a core team. Maybe you, your co-founder, or maybe you're just a solo founder. You have a dev team, you have your marketing, you have your product, you have your design, whatever, operations, whatever. At times it's just 2 people, 3 people, solo founders, but every person has a team, a small team. How do you choose your team? And most importantly, what we'll be talking about today is how you can know, how am I going to say this? What elements do you need in a team to make it work? What elements do you need in a team to make it work? And I'm not talking about the specific attributes that each person brings. No, I'm just talking about the soft skills that are actually needed for that team to go forward. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting discussion. I warn you because I like to pull in examples from things that I do and things that I've seen. So we'll use a lot of sports examples. We use a lot of singing examples, and I'll have stories in between, and you will make it make sense to you. Anyway, join me for the ride. So let me start with this. I have been in a lot of singing groups, a cappella groups, through the years, and each group has a different dynamic. Now, it's interesting that the most successful group that I had been in did not have the most obvious talent. Take a moment to think about that. And the groups that like, it was like the cream de la cream, like the people, yeah, the top men, top in their craft. Usually, if, because a cappella we have the 4 main voices and maybe a lead, so a good group consists of maybe 4, 5, maybe 6. When we used to have like 5 top people, oh my goodness, something will just crumble. The egos are a lot. It's just, something is just happening there that, Tell me if you've experienced this, because now I used to sing baritone and sometimes tenor, everything except bass. My voice is too high for bass. I mean, I'm getting older, sometimes, yeah. But seriously, I did not do bass. And I liked to do the lead because it's just my personality. I am the more extroverted people, the people who want to be in charge, want to talk a lot, who want to organize other people. That is just me. Poleni, uni mimi. Type, or the people call it type A personalities. Maybe I don't know. I think I need to Google what that means, but I think something like that. So when I was in a group already, if you're having me in your group, already know that Carson will want some limelight. If you're sharing limelights, I would want a huge chunk of that limelight. Now, what happens if you have 3 Carsons in the same group? What happens? What happens? And that usually used to happen when you had like a group of very good, egotistical, but very good and talented people in the same group. And it used to be very chaotic because a song that usually has 1 lead will be segmented into 3 leads so that everyone can have a chance to shine. But it was different when you had like 1 main person or maybe 2 main people. Sometimes that could work. And then supporting cast, people who, make the team work, they take the background, they do the vocals. And when I had a group like that, it just flowed and the music was good because they knew their roles, everyone knew their roles, and everyone knew their roles and perfected it well and did it well. But anytime it was like, and don't get me wrong, when these talented people, when we came around and those few times and we actually made music, it was top level music. I can't lie. But it might take a lot of time to get there. No, actually, it might get there really fast. It's just the group dynamics, because it's never the singing, it's the group dynamics that at times does not work, because this person wants to be heard, this person wants to be heard. I said this, I don't want to do this. Why am I singing alto? Why? It's a lot of things. I see this thing every day on the court when I go play. So I play basketball recreationally. I'm not playing it professionally. No, I'm just playing it recreationally. And every time we do pickup games, because yeah, that's what we do. If I am in a team with certain people, I am sure we're going to win every game. Can't lie. And these are usually not the best people. I don't even consider myself the best player. My biggest strength in basketball, I think, which is different from in music. In music, I want to take the limelight. In basketball, I feel like I'm a good role player. So I might take the lead sometimes if absolutely needs me to. But mostly, I know how to delegate and kupanga wase, and we're going to do this. I guess it's still the same. Yeah, but I don't want to be the person with the ball always in my hand. No, but I facilitate the ball moving. But anytime I'm in a team with certain people, I have friends who we've played with a long time, and I know their spots. They know my spots. So we know each other's spots. I know that they're handling they're handling the ball most of the time. But guess what? I'll give them the screen. I'll give them the pick and roll. I will take some defenders from them. I will create for them space for them to shine. And I have these friends also know the best place where they know, like, if it's the left side, the left post, give me the ball. I'll do the turn, I'll do the Kobe, I'll do the You know what I'm talking about. But if it's other sides, like, no, that's the right side. Castle doesn't want the ball there. And if I am there, they will screen so that we know how we play. But sometimes if I am playing with people who really like the ball in their hands, and these people are usually very talented. They can carry the team. But you find that you're not enjoying playing because, you are playing a game to 11 and they scored 10, which is not bad. You won the game. Maybe you didn't even score once. This another guy, scored once and it was an assist from maybe someone else. But anytime this person has the ball, you might as well just stand, because it's going to be a 5v1 or a 4v1. They think about themselves and the rim. They can't really think about. They will only pass it to you if it's the last. It's like, yani hakuna opportunity ingine. I'm between a rock and a hard place. I have to give up this pass. Also, there are some people who are also very good players. They will pass you the ball, but they have a lot of pressure. They're like, why didn't you make that? Correct. Come on, run. They just play with a lot of pressure, and it makes the team very uneasy, because everyone is now, their confidence is already shaken. They're now, if psychologists were here, they're not operating at an optimum, because they're trying not to get into the bad books of another individual. Then you have the opposite spectrum. You have people who are just easy. They're easy to the point that you're like, yo, we need to win. Get your man on defense. They're just like, okay, yeah. They don't care. They will take their shot. They'll take a bad shot. They just don't care. And You experience this a lot when you're doing pickup games, because you just we're forming a team, we go. In a team, you also find hustlers. There are people who are hustlers, and I'm telling you, these are the people you always want in your team. These guys might not be the most talented, and if they are, you're going to win every game. But they will hustle. They will go for every loose ball. They will defend as if their life is depending on it. They will give good passes. They will hustle. If they make a mistake, they will hustle back on defense. And they're just hustlers. And if you have such people in your team, it's like, sometimes I think this is almost the best people you need to have in your team. If you have a mixture of a really good guy who, it's an added point, because if a really good guy who has the ability to see the team and to work with the team, you have a hustler, you have a guy who is chill but not like on the other end, as in a guy who's like, chill, keeps the tempo, keeps everyone's head cool, and you have good role players or maybe another good player. That's a perfect team. That's a perfect team. And you wonder why now in the NBA sometimes when you create super teams, it doesn't work. You have egos. Maybe you don't have supporting casts. And having said that, my favorite player in the NBA is actually of all time is Dwayne Wade, because to me Dwayne Wade is the GOAT. But also Dwayne Wade's ability to take second fiddle when LeBron and Bosh came is just amazing to me, and I want to inculcate that character in myself, to be able, if I'm doing business on my own, I can carry my own people, I can carry my team. But if I'm working with, let's say, Sarah, my co-founder, we can be able to be in the same space, and I can balance, I can take a different role, I can take lead. There's some, like for example, when we're working with SEMA is a business we have based in Kenya, and we help people access therapy services. And even in our meetings, I take like a second fiddle, because that's just the dynamic of it. In Hopewell, you might see me becoming more vocal. And still the work is done. It's just, we're just playing different roles, different times. And I think that's there in everything. If you see the videos that I've done with Christine, my wife, she will do most of the talking, and I will, it's a different dynamic. I will chill, because she's bright. She's like an encyclopedia walking. And yeah, so what do you guys think about characters, about people, and how you're forming your teams? Do you think about these things when you're choosing your team, when you're hiring, when you're choosing your friends, when you're choosing people who you want to work with in a project? Or are you just looking at, like, this person worked here, you can do this, your abilities, you can do this, you can do this? Because I've come to know now, in this world of AI and just you can access anything, you don't actually need the most talented person. You need a person who can create value in that team. And when you're creating your team, especially in business, you need to have the talent. You always need talent. Who is the main talent? And you need to guard your talent and to protect your talent. But make sure that your talent is able to work with other people. And if not, then you have created a contingency, people who can bridge the gap. So you need your talent. You need your number two, someone who's almost as good as the talent and can act as a buffer. And then you need good role players who can, help you with your marketing. Or maybe your talent is your marketing, I don't know, but you need good role players in your finance, in your operations. You need hustlers. People who will be like, yo, you didn't send this email. You guys have forgotten about this lead we were supposed to have. Where have we reached with this project? Where is the development phase? You need hustlers. But you also need people who are cool and chill, who, even when everyone is frantic, people who can tell you, it's not that serious. We can do this. We didn't make as much money as we needed to make this quarter, but it's okay. We'll do it better next time. You also need people who can inject pressure. People who can inject pressure. The Draymonds in the group, the Jimmy Butlers, people who can inject pressure at times if need be. So I don't know. I feel like I've taken different scenarios and I'm trying to build something. It's quite abstract, and you guys can help me in the comments. What do you guys think when you're creating teams? Which roles? What are the soft skills that you are most keen on, and what are the gaps that you see right now in your team that you feel like, if I can have this character, then it will work out. Now, as I'm finishing this video, I want to also say, for those people who are looking for co-founders or looking for people to help them in their businesses, instead of saying that, we need a designer, or I need a tech guy as a co-founder, or I need this, start thinking about the qualities of the person that you need. As I said, different people will even evoke a different response in you. So you might work best with a person who doesn't give you too much pressure. Other people might work better with people who, constantly give them a little pressure, remind them what they need to do. So you need to think about yourself, about you as the founder, you as the business leader, you in your personal life. Think about yourself, how best you work, and then surround yourself with people who will give you different aspects that will create the best version of you. If you're looking for a co-founder, don't look for a person who you are sure they'll constantly trigger you. Yes, they might be the best CTO, but your character might not just align. It's the same thing even when we are in Hopewell and when we're looking for clients. There are some people who we have turned down as clients because we can't just work with them. Our principles and our characters don't just align, And there are some people who we have worked smoothly. Of course, you don't expect that every client you'll work with or every person you'll work with, it will be smooth. Every partner will be smooth. You have to be realistic, but you need at least to go to the path of least resistance every time, because business is hard, life is already hard. Don't make your partnerships even harder. You need things to soften up your life. You guys tell me in the comments, what do you guys think about that? It was just in my head and I said, you know what, we're going to talk about this. Anyway, see you guys soon. Stay dangerous.